Hey guys, Jewel here. Today I wanted to make a video about something kind of important. I've been given a little slack lately about, you're putting your parents out there, you're putting people out there, but the name of the channel is Thoughts by Jewel, right? So I'm Jewel, and here are my thoughts. I want to tell you a story today about myself. I want to put myself out there. This is a story that really sticks out to me, so I want to tell it. Because I'm no saint, you know. I tell a lot of stories about my parents and the way I was brought up, but what am I really saying about me as a person? So, first of all, I just want to say for everyone that's been watching my videos and subscribing, it means the world to me. But here's a story. So, a couple years ago, it was early July, and I was on probation for a felony that I committed. I had just lost my job because of it, and times were real rough, and I have an addictive personality. I've been really working on fixing that, but I decided that I would skip town and go to Iowa for a little while. I figured, let's go see my aunt in Iowa and maybe get a job and travel back to Michigan, check in on my probation once a month and stuff like that. But it was a disaster. I mean, at the time I was using Xanax, the 2 milligram yellow, green, white Xanny bars, right? I like to call them memory erasers because that's exactly what they do. They enable you to do some fucked up shit, but nothing that you're not already capable of, and I have to admit that as well. But so I decided to go to Iowa, and before I went, I bought about 60 Xanny bars, right? And that's a lot. So I had a brand new car at the time. I had earned it. It was financed, all that. It was a 2011 Dodge Caliber. I was so proud of it, I worked for it. But at that time, like I said, I lost my job and I was a little bit behind on the payments. But anyway, so I go to Iowa and I'm stopping at gas stations, whiffing fucking lines of Xanax the whole way there. I'm just totally fucked out of my mind, right? Anyone that's ever abused Xanax knows what I'm talking about. So the whole way there, I'm sniffing lines. I stopped to get high so many times and stopped at so many stores to steal. I had like $1,000 in my pocket. But when you're high on Xanax, you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do. And for me, I just got a rush out of stealing. I was a thief. It is what it is. So I was stealing, snorting Xanax, doing gas runs. I mean, I would show the tenant the money, and in those smaller cities and stuff, when you get out of Michigan, they trust you. You show them the money, I need gas. They turn on the pump, you fill up, and you fucking skirt off, hit the freeway real quick. I mean, I did that all the way to Iowa. I'm not condoning this. I'm just stating the facts. So, I did gas runs all the way to Iowa. I didn't pay for a single gallon of gas. And so I get to Iowa. This is how many times I stopped and kind of slept because I was so fucked up. It took me 30 hours to do a 7-hour trip. Normally, Michigan, Iowa, about 6-7 hours, right? It took me 30 hours to get there. So I get there, my aunt had dinner ready, and I eat. Everyone goes to bed for the night, but not me. I still want to get high and whatever, so I do some more Xanax, I get in the car, I take off. Alright, I just cruise around, right? So, this went on until about 3 o'clock the next afternoon. So, 9 o'clock at night to 3 o'clock the next afternoon. I'm on my way back to my aunt's house, and I get pulled over. Essentially, I was stealing something, but I noticed I was being watched, so I didn't steal it. So I took it out of my pocket and I hid it somewhere and I left. And the cop pulled me over, literally as I'm pulling into my aunt's driveway. He says, "Hey, we got a report that you were stealing." I said, "Look, the truth is, I didn't actually steal anything. I noticed I was being watched, so I ditched the merchandise and I left." Well, all they want to know is where their merchandise is. Right? They're not going to press charges. I said, "Okay." So I get in the car. I follow them back to the store. I show them where the merchandise is. They say, "Cool, thank you." And we go about our way. And instead of going back home, call it, it was meant to be, man, because call it divine intervention or whatever you want to call it. If that cop would not have pulled me over, I would have been in the house and went to bed, and that would have been that. But I got pulled over and it sidetracked me, so instead of going straight home, I went back out. I went to Menards. I stole like a $600 security system. Anyway, I blow a stop sign at about 9 o'clock at night, and I get pulled over. The cop's like, "What the fuck? You could have hit me, killed me." I didn't see the stop sign. I was wasted. So, they did a field sobriety test, and I went to jail. And they threw me in solitary. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been in solitary before, but sound deprivation is a motherfucker. I mean, being in solitary, it's just so quiet that you can literally hear the water running underneath the jail. I mean, you can hear the blood coursing through your veins. It's crazy. But, so, I caught theft in the fourth, reckless driving, DWI. I had a Seroquel in my side pocket when I went into the jail, so then I caught a contraband in the jail, which is a felony. And I wasn't there, but 20 hours, and I already caught all these charges. And I remember I was just so ashamed. I'd go to arraignment the next day, and my aunt, she had brought my cousins there to watch me be arraigned. Kind of like, well, if this is what you want to do, this is what's going to happen. She used me as an example, but it's kind of fucked up, I mean, I had a good relationship with my cousins at that time, and that just totally ruined it. I mean, even still to this day, they won't talk to me. They just think I'm some loser piece of shit, which I will say, shame on me for doing what I did, but shame on them as well. If you're so absent-minded that you can't see past people just make mistakes, and honestly, you don't need those people in your life anyway. But I take responsibility for what I did, so I'm not denying that. But the whole story is, I fucked up big time. And so I did about 3 weeks in a small Iowa jail, and my mom bailed me out. I spent all night walking around trying to find my way back to my aunt's house. It was like a 5-mile walk, but I didn't know which way I was going. But eventually I got there, and my uncle, he took me out to breakfast, and he went and took me to the bus stop. I mean, I came there in a brand new car, and I left on a Greyhound bus. I mean, I literally lost everything. I lost my car, my freedom, the respect of my family. I mean, but I did it to myself. So look, if you're dealing with addiction or anything like that, look, it's so important to get help and notice the signs. And, I'm going to leave a link down below for people to get help, whatever it may be, domestic violence, mental health, suicide awareness, all that shit. And I'm also going to start some donation kind of things. If you want to donate to me and I can donate to them, or if you want to donate directly to an organization, you can do that too. I'm going to leave links. So it's going to be great. I'm going to make a video about it because I think it's important. There's this organization that I have in mind. They deal with victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, and all the money goes towards like shelter, food, counseling, all that stuff. So it might not be a lot of money, but it'll be something. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But thank you for listening. I wanted to show a little humility, and I'm not perfect, but that's why this channel is so important to me. So thanks to everyone that's subscribed and commented. So like I always say, stay safe, be blessed, and be who you are. Thank you.